Alan, what's it like seeing so many people here today for this launch?
Yeah, it's unreal, and I think as a club, we've taken a huge step forward today. But as a couple of people have said, the real work starts now, and now we have this RAP document that will hold us accountable. So yeah, I was thinking about it last night. Kind of made me a bit emotional, just thinking about how far we've come. So yeah, super pumped.
You can see the pride coming out, and you talking before and now as well. You must be thrilled with the progress in the last year or two.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said to everyone there, we probably weren't the best club at it. And coming from Geelong, there was a lot of guys there who were really led the way. Nathan Jakura, Matt Stokes, Travis Varco, are real role models for me in this area. So yeah, to be able to do this 2 years ago, I could never foresee something like this. So yeah, it's exciting.
And you spoke before about when you did your collarbone and you went into the office, and you wouldn't repeat what you said then, but we could sense that you were frustrated with the club's, I guess, direction with Indigenous culture and Indigenous people. What frustrated you back then?
Yeah, probably what it was that I felt like we got to Indigenous round and we'd put out a jumper and that was it. I'd get wheeled out or someone else would get wheeled out, and you do all that and you're like, oh yeah, like this is all right, but we can do so much more as a club. Like, we've got such a big area to work with, and everyone looks to professional sports clubs for leadership and direction, and I really felt like this club could do it. So yeah, Angela King, as a lot of people have spoken about, copped probably the full brunt of that. But from that moment on, we've headed in the same direction as a football club in the Indigenous area. So yeah, I'm super proud of what the club's been able to do.
It's not just the Indigenous players, obviously. It was pretty much the whole playing group are down here on a day off to support it.
Yeah, so that's been the big thing for me, is that we wouldn't be able to do this if it was just me, Charlie, Cedric and Ali. Everyone needs to buy into it. So now that I think there's 25 of us or so down here today, a lot of the staff from upstairs to take time out of their schedule, like we play in 2 days. So to be able to take time out of their schedule, it shows to me that they care and they want to buy into this. So yeah, I think that's a really important thing.
One of the drivers of the RAP program is to be a more attractive club to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander players, talent. Do you have young guys seeking you out, wanting to know how beneficial this club can be to them from a cultural point of view?
Yeah, not at this stage, obviously. We don't know where we're going to finish, that sort of stuff. But in terms of players, I feel like Dom and Nobes, if they had something to ask or anything like that, I feel like they could come to any one of us three in terms of, like, do you want to talk to this guy about maybe we're potentially bringing him here? Can you sort of express what you feel about the club? And probably, 2.5 years ago, I probably said, oh, look, it's a good place to come to play footy, but in terms of off-field stuff, it might not have been the greatest. So to have this now, I feel like you'd have the support and the framework to support a player like Cedric, who's come from a remote community, and fully supported. So yeah, I feel like it's a really attractive destination for an Indigenous player to come here.
So what difference will we see now that you've formalised it? Is there anything tangible that you can put your finger on that different that we'll see?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That was good. I was like, what's going on? There's just like things like one thing that we've seen that's already in place is the video that gets played about 10 minutes before the game now. We made one, I think, 2 years ago, and it got shown like an hour before the game. I was like, there's no one in the stands an hour before the game. So now that it gets played like 10 minutes before, everyone sees it, and it's a big part of what we do on game day now. And like, there'll still be stuff with the Indigenous jumper. There's stuff with NAIDOC week. We saw the dancers here today. There's so many things that you'll actually be able to see, but also the engagement that we'll have with the wider community as well. Just like health benefits, doing health clinic visits, school visits, being able to share our culture. Like the guys who are the Yongpan dancers, their culture, mine, Charlie, Cedric's culture. There's a lot of things that we'll be able to show.
I'm not sure if you saw the sort of media storm that started over a little bit of speculation around Cyril and the Lions overnight. It's been shut down, but he retired because he wanted to return home and deal with some family stuff. Does this sort of program help keep people like Cyril and players like Cyril who might want to go back to home because they get homesick or deal with family things, keep them in AFL, keep them at a club?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Like, so me and Cyril, same people, so Terry Island people, and I think that being from an island, it's a lot different to being on the mainland. So the drawback for probably Cyril was really strong, but people forget he played AFL for 11 years, so it wasn't like he dropped in and out of the system. I feel like he might have thought it was the right time to go home and be an elder and a leader on the islands, and I cannot blame him for that. To be around your people and be right with your land after being away for so long, you can't blame him. So he had a great career, and I think everyone should just leave him alone and let him do his thing.
We've seen what influence Hodgie's had coming out of retirement to a young club and helping those young guys down back. Would someone like a Cyril help the young guys up forward?
I don't know, hopefully me and Charlie can do that for a few more years to come. So yeah, like it's all speculation and all that sort of stuff. We all asked Hodgie what was going on today, and what he said in his tweet is pretty much what he said to us. So I think it's a bit of fun and games, and it is what it is. It's getting to that stupid time of year, so.
Did you get excited for a second when you saw it, or did you not see it until it was all sort of blown over?
I got a message from my little brother, and I was like, no, I don't know. So I sort of found out that way, and I think it's just, I think everyone's talking about who could go where anywhere, so I think it's just that time of year, and because we've had some relative success with Hodgie, as soon as something gets made up, people run with it, so no, it's all good.
How far, like it is that coming to that time of year, and the club's done so well out of Hodgie and Charlie this year for different reasons.
Yeah.
How many more pieces do you think the club might need to kind of round out its list?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Because we've got so many young emerging players coming through, you're sort of waiting for their development, but you can never have enough like A-grade talent. So whatever happens will happen. Every year there's list changes, and there's personnel who have to go. There's people who want to come to the club, and I think that's only a good thing, because we'll keep developing. There'll be more pressure on spots. So whatever happened, but we've still got 3 games. There's still a few guys out of contract. There's still guys vying for senior spots. So the list I think is in really good shape, and I'm not sure. Like, we'll obviously go to the draft with a pretty high pick, so we'll see what happens there.
How do you think Cam's dealt with this week after the weekend?
Yeah, he's good. He's a bubbly character. The thing with Cam, I think he loves being in that position, and he loves the moment, and I think that's going to hold him in good stead for when it happens next, because I think it's going to be in that position again one day. So he took it pretty tough after the game. I won't lie about that. He was distraught, to be honest, but I think Fags talked about it the other day. We used him as a learning tool for everyone else about when you're in that moment, just taking your time and trying to forget about the scoreboard, even though it's hard. But as professional players, we've got to be able to block that sort of stuff out. And the way he's trained this week, I wouldn't be surprised if he bounced back with a big game.
How would you have, or what would you have done in that moment as a more experienced player? Would you take the same kick option, maybe taking a bit more time? How would you approach it?
It was probably the time thing for Cam. I have no issue with the kick, because I've seen him kick the same goal the week before against Geelong, so on a better angle. So yeah, it was probably just the time thing. If he had his time again, he's even said that he'd just wait a little bit longer, just settle himself down, a bit more composed in the moment. So, yeah, it's not a big thing. Like, at the end of the day, like, we lost, and there's so many. I said to him straight after the game, I was like, have a look at the scoreboard. We've had 24 other shots on goal today. So we had our chance to win that game, and just because Cam missed the shot at the end of the game doesn't mean that was the moment. Like, we had our chance to be further in front. I think we had 13 or 14 more inside 50s than them in the last quarter. So, yeah, we dominated for the long patches. So, yeah, we had our moment, and we can't peg it on one moment.